Hello everybody and welcome to an Outlaws of the Old West video. Today I wanted to read over some patch notes I have here before I get into my first episode of my season 2 of Outlaws of the Old West. So first of all, the biggest thing you'll notice with the patch notes is that the Bigfoot hunt is now enabled. So the Bigfoot hunt basically tells us that Bigfoot will be set to spawn in the alpine and mountain biomes and will be an aggressive creature with plenty of health and a nasty attack. Killing one will drop some gold bars and a special Bigfoot hat, along with a chance to drop a full-size Bigfoot mount. So I'm actually okay with Bigfoot. He was a myth, and at the time people were hunting for him, thought they saw him. You know, it's not like we have flying pigs and flying cows and stuff like that in the game. I think it still kind of sticks to an Old West kind of feel. So I think I'm okay with Bigfoot. It's only a temporary event, and it lets us get some pretty cool items if we do kill him. The hat and also the chance of a full-size Bigfoot mount. It's pretty cool. Alright, so now moving on to the actual patch notes, of course. Bigfoot hunt event. The team worked really hard on fixing lots of problems around the map. Also, you'll notice in the game now, spawn points have changed, and I believe after Bigfoot is removed, the spawn points will change again for a bunch of creatures. I know on my little homestead I had a bunch of wolves and roaming bandits show up that were not there before. The rocks on the peninsula by the big lake were removed on 11.17, which is really interesting because you used to be able to walk into those rocks and you could build bases in them. Let's see. Added ice to the general store merchant. Interesting one. Fixed small campfires not cooking meat properly. I know that was a problem that a lot of folks were having. I think all of us were having that problem. As far as I know, the team has been working really hard on fixing server performance, so it says that there was a massive server performance increase, and I have noticed that. I haven't had any lag while I've been doing stuff. I've been able to play the game without any problems, haven't been crashing, none of that. Mailbox now only saves 100 messages. Oldest ones will be deleted if new ones come in. That's kind of interesting to me because that's how I used to keep track of everyone's claims on my private servers, so if I ended up getting over 100 messages at this point, I think I'd be in trouble a little bit. Okay, this is really important. Added to decay timer multiplier in INI configurations, so you will be able to turn decay off if you're on a private server, so that you don't even have to worry about it. Otherwise, it is set to 14 days instead of 7. So they changed the decay from 7 to 14, which is awesome because I think 7 was a little too short, so I'm really glad that they listened to the community about that one. Also, as far as decay goes, they made train tracks all one connected piece so that you wouldn't have to go around to each individual piece looking at the train tracks so that they wouldn't disappear. Also, for those PvP people out there, they fixed the fact that you used to be able to place torches on the side of a non-guild member's building and walk up the torches and get into the building. So they fixed that. You're not supposed to be able to do that anymore. Oh, and it looks like they added a beam to the log building kit. So I'm gonna have to take a look and see what that is. I haven't looked at it yet, so after my season 2 episode 1 little cinematic video, we can look at the, where'd it go, beam in the log building kit. I really suggest you guys join the official Outlaws of the Old West Discord. The developers are getting a lot of feedback from players now, and they're even asking us to help them list some achievements we would like to see in the feedback channel. So if you have ideas for achievements that we could get while we're in the game, head over to the official Outlaws Discord and you can check the feedback channel and put achievements you'd like to see. I'll probably do something about like horse catching or train a horse to how many levels and you get an achievement for it, stuff like that. So please feel free to check out these patch notes yourself. For now, I think we're gonna go ahead and get into the season 2 episode 1 of my new Outlaws of the Old West series. It's definitely, I already said this before, but it's definitely going to be different. It's going to be a little cinematic, a little goofy, just, you know, me having fun and being creative while also continuing to support the game as a content creator. So I really hope you're all going to enjoy it. Here it is. I woke up to rain and thunder on a Monday morning. And it really wasn't that big of a storm. I just needed to get into Pine Ridge to get some furniture. My house was still empty after the big move-in, and I didn't bring anything with me in my covered wagon that would help the nights be a little less hard when I sleep. I figured if the ground wasn't still mucky, then I could take my wagon into town either way. But I noticed something was a little bit different about that day. The plains were empty. There were no creatures anywhere. It's as if they had just all vanished overnight. I wandered over to my trap to check out what could be going on and see if maybe I caught a bunch, but all I saw was one stray coyote, which is weird because I never catch those. They're usually smart enough to avoid the trap. I even noticed flocks of birds fleeing from the mountains as if their lives depended on it. I wondered what could be going on up in that storm up there. caught sight of Tabby O'Neill's gang pretty close to where I live, and I saw that wolves were fleeing from the mountains and attacking them as they go. Usually wolves will flee when you shoot at them a few times, but this time they were hell-bent on killing one of Tabby O'Neill's guys, and I can't really say I'm upset about that. It keeps my little homestead safe. I figured I'd wait until the storm died out, and I think I was pretty smart too, because who knows what could have been up in those mountains if I had gone when it was actually storming. So I set out that next morning, and I looked high and low for anything that could be causing a disturbance here in my little valley. And to my surprise, I didn't find anything. Not a creature, well, but a mountain goat, but we don't count those. But everything was gone. And I soon found out why. I was scanning the side of the river, and I saw this hairy man just standing on the other side, so I figured I'd run up and give him a few shots, which was not a good idea. He chased me like a bat out of hell, and I hoped my horse would run fast enough to get away from him. And of course, things never go as planned, and I ran into a tree. When I woke up, I thought I had just been dreaming about Bigfoot, but then I realized that it actually happened. He had actually knocked me out, and I was still where he left me, at the foot of a tree, and thank God my horse stayed. I had to find this thing. I had to figure out what he was doing here and why he finally showed up. I reached up to my face to pull my bandana around my neck and realized it was gone. Why would he bother taking my bandana? Why did Bigfoot like red bandanas? So the hunt continued. We crossed the river a few times. We checked out all the little hills and crevices looking for where he could possibly be hiding. But it just wasn't happening. I couldn't even find any tracks anymore. This thing was smart. Still no animals, no birds in the sky. It was almost as if I was still dreaming. No trout in the water and no ducks to chase from their cover. But late that night I did happen to find a group of idiots who had no idea what was out in these mountains. I figured there was no way I could fight a Bigfoot and Tabby O'Neill's men at the same time, so I figured I'd take care of them and use their camp to sleep in for the night. They certainly aren't getting much smarter. The camp was cozy and warm, and I probably slept harder than I should have in the long run with a Bigfoot running around and all. But for the most part, it was a nice little respite from the day's journeys, and at least the storm hadn't kicked in again, so I was pretty happy about that. I heard a terrifying roar in the middle of the night, and sure enough, opened my eyes to see Bigfoot running right at me. So I got my shotgun out again, and I prayed I wouldn't run into a tree this time, and also that my horse would have the stamina to run fully away from this thing without having him catch up too close, because I think one hit would do the trick. And with one last pump from my shotgun, I finally took him down. He was much smaller, all curled up on the floor, but hey, like any crazed Bigfoot hunter would do, I ended up cutting off his head and using it as a mask so other Bigfoots in the area will be deterred from ever coming near my valley ever again. But the thought occurred to me, if there was one, there were probably many, so I sped back home to the homestead to make sure everything was okay and that the spawn of Bigfoot hadn't attacked my house. And it seemed like everything was in perfect working order, just as I left it, still without furniture or a bed to rest my head on. Things looked like they were finally returning to normal. The birds were flocking back into the mountains, and there was wildlife all out and about around my homestead, so I felt like I was a little bit more safe and secure. So it was a good time to go ahead and take the saddle off Shorty, which I'm pretty sure he was thankful for. He'd been wearing it for 2 days at this point. And now I can plan what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, which hopefully will finally be heading to Pine Ridge to pick up some damn furniture for this empty house of mine. Bigfoots be damned. Thank you so much for watching my Season 2, Episode 1 Bigfoot Hunt video. This is the first time I've really done something like this besides the trailer, and really it was just a way for me to have some fun and try and be a little creative. I can predict that these are going to get better and better as time goes on and as I add people from my server to them and start showing off all the different towns and locations across the map on Outlaws. If you did enjoy this video, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, if you want to see more content like this, as well as some other games that I've been looking into that are also in early development. I do run on Patreon now, so if you are ever interested in supporting me as I head through this content creator journey, then feel free to click on that link and see what I have to offer there. I also have my socials listed down in the description box down below, as well as my community Discord, which anyone can join if they just want to hang out with me and maybe play some games. So what do you all think of Bigfoot? Let me know in the comments section down below. As always, guys, I hope you are enjoying your games, and I will see you all in the next video.